Hello, welcome to the Healing for Artists podcast. My name's Helena and let's jump into it. So, life updates to start off with. I am moving, and those of you who are following on my YouTube, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, have seen that I have only just moved in a couple months ago, but we are moving, so all of this is being packed up into boxes. Well, I need to get some cardboard boxes. I thought I had some, but they're really tiny. So I'm currently shoving everything into bags. And if that sounds interesting to you, definitely follow my TikTok because we're literally documenting me getting rid of everything. This bag is literally just makeup brushes. This is just eye and eyebrow. And this is my makeup bag. We just bought it. It's from Shein. It's like £2. How have I only just discovered Shein at this day and age? It's very good for your cheap bits. It's like Primark, but online. Anyway, I wouldn't recommend getting all your clothes from there just because it is like really cheap and it's fast fashion. But I've got a lot of like bags, like this jewelry holder. It's lovely. It's amazing. I love it. And that little portion is just for all you friends listening on Spotify that can see me. Hi. So, for the past 3 months, I have been on tour. I've been traveling the UK in an adult pantomime version of Aladdin as Princess Jasmine, obviously. And it was a lot of fun. I've been here, there, and everywhere, all over the country. I learned a lot about myself and my performance skills. We developed a lot on the way. And now that that's finished, I'm trying to focus now on content creation and just getting the ball moving on this whole content creation journey. We are still launching the Healing for Artists blog. I want to launch it this month. I've been putting it off because I couldn't get the website to look good, and we're getting someone on board to fix that. I've got all the content lined up. It's ready to be posted. I just need to sort it out and figure out the navigation of it so we can post. It's a live blog magazine documentation of my personal healing journey as an artist, healing for artists. And I'm just so excited to share like beauty, wellness, everything fun that's going to make you feel good and special. And really what we're doing is we are curating and we are building our dream lives together. This is a live documentation of that. And we are very excited. So to honor that, we are going to talk about how to shift your negative mindset and become an optimist or a more optimistic version of yourself. Now, I was someone who was very, very negative. I recently have been struggling with seizures and PTSD, which is a whole other ballpark. If you're dealing with mental health, that is quite different to just thinking negatively. But by doing some of these tips, I've managed to reduce how many episodes I'm having because I'm not constantly spiraling and overthinking about things that don't need to be overthought about. So one of my favorite quotes that I recently remembered, it's a really funny one. It's called, "It's not that deep, sis." It's not that deep, sis. So whenever I feel like really chaotic, and I like to make to-do lists all the time, but what I find really overwhelming and stressful is doing the to-do list. And every time I tick them off, there's always more things to add to the to-do list. And that really, really stressed me out until very recently I have taken on something called the Pomodoro technique. Now, if you don't know, Pomodoro technique originated from, I believe, an Italian guy, and it's called the tomato technique in English, but it's called the Pomodoro technique. Basically, you take your task and you block it off into little timed sections. So take, for example, writing blog posts. You want to write blog posts. You do 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long you want to do. I have quite a short attention span. So 10, 20 minutes just to get the ball rolling. I might do more than that, but you just do a little chunk of time. Then you take 5 minutes to chill out, reset, maybe go on your phone, just do something fun. And then you put the timer back on and then you just repeat it. And it's because you've broken it down into small, actionable chunks that you can easily digest, and so you can do the things that you want to do by not finding it too overwhelming. I would highly, highly recommend the Pomodoro technique. I have an app on my phone. I think it's literally just called Pomodoro, and it's so cute. It's like this video game setup, and it's like you're in this cute little vintage video game. You're an avatar and you have this farm, and the more you do your Pomodoro working, then you get coins and you can like plant tomatoes. I don't know, I just find it quite motivating when there's something cute that you can watch growing. You can also get Pomodoro app where you watch plants grow. So if that sounds like it's up your street, I would highly, highly recommend using the Pomodoro technique. And that is a way that I've managed to relieve some of the stress, because I tend to build up things where it's completely unmanageable. For example, I have been meaning to do my podcast episodes for a really long time, but every time I go to film it, I suddenly get this big wave of anxiety, right? And I don't want to film, I don't want to record. I get the same thing with music, right? Imagine you want to be a singer. You want to make music. You want to make the cutest music in town and just live your best life, singing songs and gigs and just go around the country, going around the world, just singing your songs and living your best life. But every time you go to record a song, every time you go to message a producer and you do, and then they reply, you get major imposter syndrome and just completely stop everything that you're doing. That's literally what I was doing, blocking my own blessings. Why? I think I have a fear of success. Odd. It's very different to a fear of failure, I think these very much coincide and they kind of knock each other. So sometimes you might be scared of failing because you're scared of someone's opinion, someone's judgment. Like, why should it matter? It's not that deep, sis. Why do I care what Anna from school thinks of me? It shouldn't matter. Fear of success is if you've had a lot of trauma built up over your lifetime. Sometimes the idea of succeeding helped you escape out of the trauma and the things you were going through in your earlier life. So when you want to succeed, because you've put it up in your head as an escapism, when it comes to actually doing it, you might have some resistance against wanting to succeed, because in your head, it kind of triggers what happened to you in the past and what made you want to create all of these visualizations of escaping and living your best life. Now, a good way to quiet your inner critic is to actually build trust in yourself. Build up that trust within you that you know when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. When you say you're going to show up, you're going to show up. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go full ham and go crazy, crazy, crazy every day. I used to be obsessed with like the grind, and like I tried to get up at 5 a.m. every day. I tried to go vegan. Like, it didn't really work out for me because it's not what I had no reason to be up so early, right? It didn't coincide with the person I wanted to be and the things I wanted to do. So what I did, and this really helped like get rid of that inner critic, is work backwards. You reverse engineer it. Go back to, What does your dream life look like to you? When you close your eyes and imagine yourself in your absolute dream reality, okay? You think about where you are. Maybe you're in New York. Maybe you're in London. Maybe you're in a luxury apartment. Maybe that luxury apartment has a grand piano. Maybe that luxury apartment has a music studio. Maybe it has an artist studio where you can just paint and have fun. And maybe your day-to-day routine, like really break it down into what are you doing every day in your normal everyday life, but it's your dream reality. That could be maybe every morning you walk to your local coffee shop and get a matcha and take your laptop and do some editing because maybe in your dream reality you are a YouTuber. Whatever that is, break it down. Really think about it, like so much detail that you can actually taste what your dream life feels like. Like, what are you wearing? What's your style? Who do you hang out with? What kind of people do you want to have in your life, in your dream reality? Now, obviously, don't do it where the people in your life have to be alive and real, because what we're doing is we are shifting our mindsets to be more aligned with your dream reality, right? So everything has to exist in the universe, in this realm, in this plane of time. But we're making ourselves like a big magnet that's going to attract things that are aligned to your dream life. But the first thing you need to do to be able to make that happen is, one, know what you want. And you can change your mind as you go along. I know that my dream life, my dream vision, it changes day to day. It's different, but I know essentially what I want in my life. And because I know that, you reverse engineer it backwards, okay? So you've gone, maybe you want to work with Tarte Cosmetics. Maybe you're like a beauty influencer. You want to be a beauty influencer and you want to work with Tarte Cosmetics. What do you do to work with Tarte? Well, you need to get their attention. So maybe you are a fan of their products and you already have products of theirs. So you just start filming UGC videos or videos of you testing out the products, maybe you doing a review of the product, you trying it on, doing a tutorial, including it in your vlogs. Do all of those things, tag them, and that's a good start to help bring their attention to you. So if you want to be a YouTuber or a beauty influencer, you need to start making the YouTube content and the beauty influencer content. Pretend that you have to make a portfolio because in your dream scenario, you work with these brands. And how do you work with these brands? You work with these brands because you have a portfolio, you've reached out to them, you've done the outbound emails, and they've come back to you and they're interested in collaborating. Amazing. That's one step closer to your dream life. It's so easy to then, once you get to that stage, go, oh no, I'm an imposter. But what I will say is I was very fortunate enough to go to a brand event last month with Sober Girl Society, and I had a good chat with Millie Gooch, the founder, and she's so lovely, by the way, but she said that she also feels like she has imposter syndrome, and that made me feel so validated and good, because that's someone who is doing it. That's someone who's doing the thing all of the time. She's got amazing events that have gone on, amazing, huge events that are coming up. They're doing one in the Ministry of Sound this year. It's going to be amazing. But she also has this imposter syndrome feeling. And she said that she's spoken to other business founders, CEOs, who also feel the exact same way. So in reality, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody has it sussed out. So even when you get to that point where you're like, I've achieved my dream, you're never going to feel like you've got it. Because whenever you get closer to it, the dream shifts and it changes. So people who have won an Oscar, right? That could be the be all and end all. I want to win an Oscar. I'm going to be the best actor. I'm going to win that Oscar. They win that Oscar. They're not suddenly like, amazing. I can give up now. No, maybe it's I want an EGOT. So that's like multiple awards. I'm going to get another one. I'm going to do more projects because life keeps going. Even if you accomplish things when you get to your goals, life still goes. So you need to keep adapting and building on your dreams as you go along. So back to what we were saying about building trust in yourself. When you do show up for yourself and maybe you do an email, maybe you post videos, the one thing you need to do is get consistent with it. But that can seem really, really, really overwhelming. Like posting, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this. He says he wants everyone to post 40 times a day everywhere. Now that is like very unsustainable for most people. So what I would recommend doing to build the sustainability and the consistency of it is make your content something that you do every day. Like maybe you do lifestyle videos. You can do a hair video every day because you always do your hair. You can do a skincare routine because you always wash your face. Like just do stuff that around what you already do. And that's a good way to stay consistent, is to document, not just create. You can create and you can make time for creation, but there's only so much you can do before that becomes unsustainable and you can't keep up with it. All of that good stuff. So definitely break it down. Break it down. Just take a breath. And remember, small steps, great distances. Okay? Small steps, great distances. It's not about winning life. Okay? We're not sprinting. We're not going to do one 100-meter sprint and boom, all of our dreams are reality. It's always something that you're consistently building on, consistently working on. And it's something that we are going to achieve together. But you do have to consider the fact that you're in it for the long haul, okay? Small steps, great distances. The way that we're going to quiet our inner critic is by showing up and just taking those small steps. Now, I will say, if you have mental health problems, if you have a chronic illness, not every single day is gonna look and feel the same. Some days we are just so chronically fatigued, we cannot do anything. And that's okay. This is where the batching comes in. So once you've built that consistency, you've dipped it in, you've gone, oh, it's not that hard to create a video. I'll do another one. Okay, that was good. That video's getting more likes. I'll do more of that one. It's all about throwing things out there, seeing what sticks. Once you find something that sticks, really go all in on that thing. And it can be multiple things. You can be a lifestyle creator, and lifestyle incorporates everything in your life. They always say, make yourself the niche. Don't let the niche define you, right? So there's a lot of TikTok creators that are SEO creators and they only talk about one thing and they do tips and tricks and myth busting on that one thing, which is really, really great. It's really insightful. I follow so many people that do this content, but in the long term, it's not the best strategy sometimes because one, your audience doesn't always remember you because you might just be, oh yeah, I like watching her list videos, but they're not invested in you as a person. You need your audience to connect to you and feel like they are friends with you. Like I want my content to feel like I'm literally on FaceTime with my best friend. That is the vibe. That's the energy that we want to give off. So to do that, I do a lot of chatty content. We have a podcast now. We do little vlogs. We do get ready with me's. I just like to talk a lot. So I always try and get out here and just chat all the time. And that is another way to really build that trust in yourself is you've gone, okay, this works, that doesn't, this works, I'll do more of that thing. And then over time, you can start reaching out to brands. Maybe some brands will reach out to you. You can go with an agency. You can do whatever you want. It's amazing. Now, the thing is that I know a lot of artists, actors, dancers, singers, musicians, creative people. We have our main craft, which is being an artist. We have to audition. We have to do self-tapes. We have to keep our rep book to a high professional standard. We have to keep training. We have lots of stuff to do every single day to hone in on our craft. But we also want to allow opportunities and make our own way, right? So since the pandemic, like 80% of our self-tapes are now online, which is good. This is good for me. I don't live in London anymore, so I don't want to keep up and downing to London all the time. But what we do want to do is kind of find our own opportunities whilst we work with our amazing agents that do so much for us, and we appreciate them and we love them so much. But we also want to be open to getting money and getting opportunities that we're not just relying on booking the audition, booking the jobs. Because when you're stressed and you are like, oh, MG, I need to get this audition or I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. That is a scary thought, and it's not a position we ever want to be in, because when you're coming from a place of sheer desperation and I need to book this job, guess what the casting directors feel? Oh my God, why is this person like really acting desperate? Because on a subconscious level, you're coming across as desperate because you're desperate and you need this job to survive. This is why all us artists have like 5 different jobs on the side. We do a bit of this, we do a bit of that, just to get by, just to make some money. And this is where a lot of artists who want to be online content creators do come in and go, do you know what? I could do this whole influencer thing. And because you're an artist, you have multiple dimensions to you, multiple aspects that I would find very interesting to follow. But I'm not seeing, maybe this is just my For You page, I'm not seeing too many artists and creatives who are also getting invited to these influencer events. I don't see them at the lunches. I don't see them at the parties. I don't see them at the after parties. I'm sure, and I'm so sure, that we are infiltrating. But I want to see more of it because honestly, I think creatives are fun. They don't really care what people think because we're always like dressing up as part of our job is to pretend to be someone else. We always have fun. We're always goofy. We're always having a laugh. And I just think that will connect to more people, and more people will connect to us as artists. But a lot of people who are artists, who are actors, are scared to put themselves out there, which I 100% get. But in order to make it work for us, we do need to forge our own way. And you don't have to write home and tell everyone what you do. I saw this creator who is a travel photographer. This was viral on TikTok a few months ago. But to get there, he did events or wedding photography. And he built up a strong business. He was getting like 5 figures just by doing wedding photography. But no one knew that he was a wedding photographer. Everyone just knew him as the travel photographer because he didn't tell everyone all of the time exactly what he was doing. But because he was fronting it, then suddenly being a travel photographer was his whole job all of the time. So If you want to start a side hustle and a side business, absolutely go for it. You don't even have to tell everyone on the internet what you're doing. You don't even have to tell everyone in real life what you're doing. But you do need to mainly do something that you enjoy. Because if you like it, one, it's not going to feel hard. It's not going to be soul crushing. It's not going to be back breaking because you like to do it. It's something that fills you with joy and purpose. So you get up wanting to do it. You find yourself thinking about it. You find yourself going on the toilet and like scrolling to find out more information about it. It's fun, so you want to do it more. Now, that is a good start to building your dream life. Is one, you have to try and enjoy your day to day. You have to try and find the little bits of fun. And when you find that, you're going to do that a bit more and a bit more until basically your days are just filled with peace, pockets of peace that you look back on and go, yeah, I had a good day. Now, we can develop this, really quiet our inner critic by journaling, by meditating, by putting on music and dancing like crazy in your room, not even caring. It's so important to try and enjoy your day, or most days, the majority of your days. It doesn't have to be every day. We know life is up and down and up and down. So much goes on that is out of our control. But what is in control is how we react to our emotions. Sometimes I find our emotions are not in our control. You know, if you've got hormone imbalance, fatigue, like that's not in your control how you feel. But how you react to how you feel is in your control. And a good way to really hone in on your mastery of figuring out how to develop your dream life is by not taking everything to heart, because not every rejection is about you. Not every friendship that falls apart is your fault. When we take a second to appreciate what we do have and not what we lost, not what we don't have, that is when things start to shift and change, because you're not always focused on, well, when I was at college, this thing happened and I never got over it. I never forgave that person. What's that going to do? They might have moved on. That guy that did that to you might be living his best life now, and there's nothing you can do about it. What you can control is how you react to the emotions that come up. Maybe you know that you're going to get stressed if you think about a certain thing. And if that thing comes up, and if you're able to get to a safe space, just chillax, have some snacks, just take it easy. And you know that you've given yourself permission to let it go. You've given yourself permission to not dwell and just to be in the moment, reset, relax. And you know that every bad patch passes. Every emotion passes. Some days you feel so bad and crazy that sometimes you just don't want to think about it and you don't want to deal with it. And that's okay. Not every day is going to be the most joyful, amazing time of your life. But if we can rack up the points, okay, this day was good. Okay, I got up at 1 p.m., but I did film a video that I've been wanting to film. Amazing. Put that on the point system. In the back of your head, you've got, I did that. I've ticked that off. Good job. Pat yourself on the back more. Give yourself more credit. It's not about how you can outwork everyone. It's about how you can feel good whilst you work towards what you want to do. It's good to be competitive. It's good to have grind and grit that you want to do all of the things in the limited time that we have on Earth. Well, that was deep. But you don't always have to be the most competitive person in the world. You just have to be competitive with yourself and know that you can try and get better every day. As James Clear says in Atomic Habits, which is a fantastic book, highly recommend, he says that you have to build up points in becoming the person that you want to be. So you have an identity. So you're not, I need to work out every day. It's, I'm a person who works out. Did you hear that difference? I need to stop eating junk food. I'm a healthy person. I eat healthy foods. And then you have little points to building up and becoming someone who identifies as a singer. So if you want to be an artist, you have to make music. You have to sing. You have to put yourself out there. So you do little points, okay, I've reached out. Okay, I've made that song. Okay, I've put it out. And you keep building up those points until one day you know that you feel trust within yourself. And that is how you're going to get that inner critic out the door a little bit. Of course, it's normal for it to come back and it goes and it flows and it ebbs and it goes, whatever. But we don't have to dwell, and we don't have to let the inner critic and the negativity or anyone who's trying to wreak havoc, you don't have to let it win, and you don't have to let it get to you. So, those are my top tips on healing your inner critic and making strides to becoming the person you want to be and manifesting your dream life. Now make sure you follow me at I'm Helena Yasmin on TikTok, on Instagram, on Snapchat. We are launching the Healing for Artists blog, so please keep your eye out for that. I will be posting updates. Thank you so much for listening or watching, if you're watching. And I will see you in the next episode. We might even be in a different location. Who knows? Okay, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!